Hello everyone, and welcome to The Save Point. Save Point is a podcast that wants to bring Bible-based reviews on video games. We will be judging on two main criteria, the quality of the game and the contents of the game. Both will be scored on a scale of 1 to 5. Today's game we are looking at is War Thunder. War Thunder is a vehicle combat simulator. It also carries a bit of a reputation. War Thunder is known for being the most realistic vehicle combat simulator available for you to play. Normally, I don't go into the community of different games, but War Thunder has one of the funniest player bases I have ever had the pleasure of hearing about. On multiple occasions, not just once, classified military documents have been leaked on forums and on Discord. Now, I'm not saying like civilian projects. No, this is like genuine military. Genuine military documents have been just sent on the internet. Why? Who knows? Anyway, War Thunder is also known as the grindiest game that you can play. Grindy, when it comes to a video game term, means that you can spend a lot of time doing something over and over again to make progress. It has been described as soul-sucking. Now that's all I'm going to say about things outside of the game itself. Now let's get on into it. War Thunder itself has 3 main categories, but it is described as 4. Let me explain. There are 4 different groups of vehicles: tank with other ground forces, air, coastal, and blue water fleets. I have the most experience with air, but I've done some grinding with ground, but I've played a few games with boats for this episode. If you thought that was enough content, you would be mistaken. There are 10 different nations you can play as in War Thunder. You got the United States, Germany, Russia, and yes, you can get the T-34. Britain, you got Churchill. France, Japan, Italy, and for Italy, you do got the R3. Now, if you don't know, that is the Mario Kart of tanks. You got China, Sweden, and Israel. Almost all of the nations are available to play at the beginning of the game, except Israel, which you need to wait a bit till you get the resources of it. It's a tier 4 instead of a tier 1. All of these countries are available in at least some form in all of the different areas. Each of the countries have different things that make them special. The Italians, for example, are just glass cannons. A super big gun, super speedy, but no armor. The United States is a very well-rounded nation. Each country is different and offers different things for different playstyles. I've grinded the most on the US, so, you know, what's to be expected. All of the different countries have tech trees for the different combat areas. Each of the tech trees have different sections that you can use to grind for. Using tanks, you got the light tanks, you got the medium tanks, you got the heavy tanks, and then you got the tank destroyers. Later on, you can unlock AA, or anti-air vehicles. You also unlock the main battle tank, like the M1 Abrams. You could just grind one tree and go all the way down it, or go and grind a little bit on each tree, although you probably won't make much progress when you're doing that. There are 3 different types of battles you can play. There's arcade, realistic, and simulation. In arcade, it's made to be fast and fun. It's not that realistic. It has the basic premises of all of the realism, but you go in, you fight, you respawn, you have fun. Realistic is much closer to a military simulator. The mechanics are made to be as realistic as possible without taking all day. Such as, instead of seeing enemy indicators, you have to just find the enemy yourself. This means that people will either love it or absolutely hate it. But if realistic is not realistic enough for you, you can take it a step farther and play some simulation battles. These battles are made to be exact copies from historical battles. meaning you can only use the vehicles that were used during the battle, and you will need to set aside a good bit of time because these will take all day. Slightly exaggeration, but it still takes a hot minute. In order to get to the combat zone, you need to actually start at a base and then go to the combat zone, and it can take a little bit. And then you fight, and then you may just die immediately. If that happens to you, I am sorry for your loss. It happens to somebody. This is just a straight military simulator in almost every single way. There's just no two ways about it. War Thunder is a game for history buffs and nerds. It's a great game if you want to play with any vehicle and just go crazy. Of course, there are caveats from it being not 100% realistic. But if you have players leaking classified military documents on Discord and or Reddit, it gotta be pretty realistic. Now, on to the rating. As for its quality, War Thunder is a very well-made game with lots of things to do. The game is engaging and challenging, but also balanced. Progression is simple, it's not easy, it takes a while, but it's still fun. You can get a lot of different experiences, so much so that it feels like you're just playing a different game, but still kind of the same, if you know what I mean. It just takes forever. But for quality, it gets a 5 out of 5. For content, this game sure knows how to keep you busy. For its cons, you're killing people. It may be vehicles, but you're still killing people. There's no other way to see it. You can use vehicles from really bad countries like the USSR and the Third Reich. Need I say more? But for content, this gives it a 2 out of 5, and this brings its overall rating to a 3.5 out of 5. As for my personal thoughts, War Thunder is a really fun game. It's not my favorite, but as a history buff, it's fun to pull out and play it for a little bit. Just have fun in like a zippy little light tank. I need to play some more Italy. That would be fun. Although, my favorite part is just hearing all of the really funny, weird, and let's be honest, stupid things that these players can pull. It's never gonna get old. Thanks to DietWater08 for helping me on this episode. Well, that about sums up this episode of The Save Point. I hope you all have enjoyed this episode and found its contents helpful. The Discord link is in the description. Thank you all for listening, and may the Lord bless you and give you peace.